See if this is gonna work. I am attempting to set up on restream.io. Is it working? Let me see. Give me just another minute. Alright, so Twitch says I'm online. Restream.io says I'm online. YouTube, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. I wish I could just tell you an easy address to just go to on YouTube to find my channel, but I need 100 subscribers before I can get a custom URL. That's a little... yeah, that's a little bit of a catch-22 there. Also, you might be hearing a little bit of background noise. I have turned down my microphone a bit to try and cut down on the noise that's a little further away. But Miss Chaos back there is a little higher pitched than me, and she might show up better on the mic than I do. I don't know. So, let me see. Today, I was wondering if I really ought to do a live stream at all. But I've been on a roll. I've done these for a whole week. So, honestly, why should I stop now? So, today I was going to do something a little different. I've been working on the picture of Becca for a long time, and now it's nearly done. All I need to do is work on a few background elements. So I don't have a lot left on it. Yeah, a lot of really tiny nitpicky stuff, and my eyes were not taking it today. I don't know why. Things were just difficult. But I feel a bit better now, and I'm going to start y'all on something different. I'm going to do some new creatures from the world of Soulbound, which is my comic that I'm coming out with very soon, if I could just get the nerve up to go ahead and launch the Kickstarter. Let me see. I wanted to do a character that's going to show up in a few issues. He's going to be very important. He is the healer's horse, and he's really more of a colt. Let me come up with a good pose for him. Okay, I've got it. Here. There's his little cheekbone. And roughly where his muzzle's going to go. He's going to have long ears. And he's going to look a little goofy and silly because he's just a little baby. And let's come down here. He's a very willowy little colt, but very prancy. So here I'm just going to block in the shape of the body, a little bit of the musculature, and some of the pose. Let's see, I'm gonna have this knee up. I used to draw horses all the time. And I still love to draw horses. So he's going to be prancing a bit. There's going to be a few interesting small details. He's not going to have the classic conformation. And he's coming out so cute. Okay, so here's his spine, and the rump is going to be up here in the air a bit. He's going to be a little bit long-bodied. He's going to have very big eyes. And I'm probably going to narrow down this muzzle a bit more. That's a good shape for his tail. So he comes right up to Becca. And that's highly unusual for the healer's horse. Of course, she just thinks he's coming up begging. Let's make him super prancy. And just work out, where are all four of these legs? And sketch him in here. And that needs to be a little straighter. And let's not forget where his mane's going to be. He's just a little colt. He doesn't have much of his mane yet. And kind of long ears right here. So we're going to work on him, dish out his face a bit more like an Arabian. I used to have a horse. And she was an Arabian. She was a strawberry roan. Well, no, it wasn't strawberry roan. Flea bit roan. But it was that rusty color. She was speckled all over. She was beautiful. Which you wouldn't really expect from a term like flea bit roan. Her name was Gloriana. And let's put his little chin in here. And scoop out for his nose. Okay. And right here, not too far. I don't want him to have weak ankles. Okay. Let me fiddle a little bit more with my settings. Let's make sure that I can see if anyone's here. Let me add a stream marker. For some reason, if I do not do this, I won't be able to find this on my videos that I've made. I don't understand it all yet. I've been trying to learn how to do the streaming as fast as I can, but oh, where's my pencil? There we go. But I'm trying to learn a lot of other stuff at the same time too. You know, such as figuring out how to run a Kickstarter. You know, scary things like that. Okay, his shoulder's going to be about here. That's going to slope down. This is going to come out a bit there. And we can't forget that this is where his windpipe's going to be. Ah, he's such a goofy, prissy thing. I think we'll open up his eyes a little more. Like this. Alright, so if you hear a little bit of background noise, that's Miss Chaos. She's playing a game with her dad. And, you know, they're having a wonderful time. And I've turned down my mic just a little bit. I hope you can hear me. So, if you pick up more on her, that might be the mic picking up on a higher pitched voice. Better than it picks up on mine. She's quite adorable though, so I'm gonna have to get her gaming and streaming on here too. Let me see, I think that I actually have him set a little bit low in this frame. But, let me see, can I do this? Move layer. And I can just scoot him up. And leave him like that. So let me add another layer on top so that I can use this as just a base. And am I going to be leaving him sketchy? I think that was the plan. I'm pretty sure it was. He was gonna be a bit more of a blue. So, let me pick a good line width for him. So if I go with a wider or a larger line width, then I'll be able to keep the line weight interesting. It's still a technique that I'm working on. I'm going to have to do smaller than that though. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay. 25 is good. I'm going to zoom in on his face so that I can get this just right. You can see I use the pencil texture on the lower layer. And I've moved here to the graphic pen. I'm using a Wacom Intuos tablet with Clip Studio Paint EX, but this isn't anything that you need anything more than their base model for. And Miss Chaos is having a great time. Playing Fortnite. Getting her challenges in. So, let me get in his ear right there. A little bit more variation in there. I might come back in there with the eraser and do that. I don't want to do too much erasing because this is just meant to be some sketches of some of the creatures in the world. Alright, so let me tell you a bit more about the world of Soulbound. This is the world where lost things and some things that never existed, some small remnants of them are preserved there. So if there's a mythical creature or an extinct creature, or something that fell somewhat in between those two categories. Oh, cryptozoology. I love cryptozoology. I just love it. I'm still waiting on somebody to find the skunk ape in Florida or Sasquatch in the Pacific Northwest. I would dearly love to see that. That would be hilarious. Maybe not quite that much. Okay. And anyway, so there's a lot of lost creatures, a lot of mythical creatures, a lot that until this comic they only existed in my mind. So I'm excited to have this whole thing coming out. So my main character, Becca Albright, she is flung through a portal to this other realm. Let me see. Get this. Miss Chaos has found the vehicles in Fortnite. Clearly. Where was I? Okay. So she is flung through a portal to this other realm of mystery, of magic, of monsters and myth. And she has to find a way to survive there. Oh yes, there's also some real world type survival tips starting in the very first issue. You know, in case you ever wreck your car in a lake or something like that. And the trouble with this other realm is that what opens the portal between the realms is sacrifice and longing. And that would be fine. But these things are they also tend to run with regrets. And regrets can pull you back. So Becca has to return home because there is quite literally some unfinished business for her to attend to. And that's pulling her back, but it's pulling her soul back without the rest of her, which would leave her body behind in something like a coma. This is not a good situation, because if her soul returns to Earth without her, or it's a Earth like ours anyway, then she won't be able to do any good. She'll be like a ghost. So she has to figure out how to get back home through a real portal, so that she can actually bring her body with her in order to make it all the way back. So she meets a young warrior. His name is Torin, and he has been tortured for the last few months, several months, in a dungeon by a sorceress, and she helps him escape. And he quickly figures out what's going on with her. In his world, this is known as being soul sick, and he understands the gravity of the situation, that she needs to go home, or else, you know, her soul's going to be doomed to wander forever, like the ghosts in the ash field that they just escaped from. So that's, nope, don't like that line. Let's back this up. All right, through here. Come on. Get a nice even stroke on here for once. Almost. So close. All right, I like that one. I should be doing this in vectors because you can adjust vectors as you go, but I still haven't got the hang of them. I'll have to learn. Life is learning. See, that's a little bit wobbly. I don't really want to do this in several short lines, and I can't do it in a very quick stroke either. See, that wobbles. Why is everything wobbly? Do I have my stabilization on? Yes. Okay then. No help for it. Just going to have to be careful. And let this meet together. So my first issue is where you meet Becca. You learn about, where she's from, who she is, what she's about. And you also, let me see, no, that needed to come up a lot more. Let's do this again. Come on, pay attention. Oh, that's much better. I think I'm finally getting the hang of how smooth the graphic pen is on this. I mean, after working on real paper most of my life, the smoothness of working from a tablet is a little bit to get used to, you know? No, a little wobbly. Also, I'm trying to work looking at the screen and hoping that my hand does what I want it to do. So I'm not looking at my hands at all while I'm drawing. Which I'm not terrible at it, but maybe if I had a tablet that I could draw on directly, that would be better. Let's see, this really needs to go up a bit. Oh yes, that's a much more natural shape. This is where it's really come in handy to have owned a horse and picked up her feet every day and dug out the stuff that got stuck in her hooves. So now you may notice that this is not a very traditional horse's hoof. Horses don't normally have split hooves. If they do, it's a sign that there's something wrong with your horse. I don't know if Becca is necessarily a horse person. I'm not quite sure yet if she's going to notice there's something weird about this poor creature's hooves. He's fine. He's meant to be that way. Let's make this a little bit straighter across the top because this is his knee. It's going to come out here. He's going to grow up to be such a beautiful creature. But right now he's just a prancy, goofy little colt. Touch this up a bit. Where should this go? I think I got a little bit off track with this line. And let's see. I'll have to hide this layer. Well, I think I'll need more. I'll need to work on this a little bit more until I know how many more lines to put up here between his knee and his shoulder. But yeah, this flat plane of his shoulder needs to go right here. So I was thinking about doing a little write-up on each of these creatures. A little bit about their history, a little bit about their habitats, what they're famous for. Let's try this one again. And there. That line's supposed to bend right there and come down here. And I was going to include old printable PDF, showcasing each of these. Not just more ordinary sorts of things like the healer's horse, but also there's a moat monster. He's interesting. And the arachne. I'm thinking possibly the correct form would be the arachnaeads, because it is a civilization. It's not just that there's a group of them. They are sentient beings. Very weird and tricky to deal with sentient beings. That is a little bit too pointy right there. Let me undo that. Let's see. Now this is going to be right there where the tendon is. And then this is going to be right here. And I can erase that corner in here. So he's not going to have the classic proportions. That's all right. He's meant to be leggy, and actually he's got slightly deer-like proportions. I've been doing a lot of, well, I have done. I didn't get to do a lot of drawing on paper recently, but I've worked on some studies of the deer that come to my backyard. Yeah, I can see them right out my window. They're so beautiful. I'm so excited to live out in the country and get to see these beautiful deer. And fortunately, I'm not really much of a gardener, so I'm not concerned about them being in my yard. They can come, hang out, and eat the dandelions and stuff if they want. I did plant pear trees, and I never get any pears. I wonder why. It's like they can be covered in pears, and they'll be almost ripe, and the next thing I know, no more pears are left. It's a mystery. So I need to try and get these hooves about the same size. And I might make this knee a little blockier up here. So, where was I? More like deer-like proportions. He's going to be an excellent jumper. Scroll down. Continue the line of the hoof, which that's pretty much what you do whether you're doing split hooves or regular hooves. And then the shape, you know, the heel of a horse is also going to have this tapered shape to the hoof. Yeah, I got very well acquainted with horses' hooves. Yeah, it's funny. Everything that you do in your life, it comes around and you can use it again somewhere, sometime. And here, and I hope I can get this little curl to his tail going pretty much the way I had it, because I really like that shape. It's a good shape. Can I do it in one stroke? Let us see. No, I did want that to go out a bit more. Come on. No. No. It's amazing. You know, you can do it once and you'd think, oh, thank you, autosave. Now let me work. You know, you can do things once and you think you can do them again, but no. That's what makes art art and not science or a recipe. And see, if I go any slower, it's wobbly. Okay, let me shake out my wrist. I might have to give up on getting this exact shape to his tail. I really liked it though. And see if I was working in vectors. Oh, come on. Just one more. One more try. Alright, that'll work. If I was working in vectors, then I could have just picked one that was close and adjusted it slightly. So his tail is going to be long for a colt's tail. It's going to have a long bone to it. Usually horses' tails, let me mark it off here. The proportion would be about that long for the tail, and then the rest of it would just be from hair on down. But he's got a very long bone to his tail. And I'm going to tuft out the end. Let's go this way. Right there, that's probably enough. So let me know in the chat or in the comments if you like how he's turning out. If you'd like to know a little bit more about what he is, what he does, what he's famous for in the book. And I will keep y'all posted about when I can start the Kickstarter. I need to get a critique on the draft of it. But I'm really kind of nervous about it, so I don't really know if I should ask. I've I've been working on this story for a very long time, and I just care about it. It matters so much. I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to get this done. And it's a little panic-inducing. Oh no, I have a gnat. Okay. It seems to be gone. I hate gnats. They're my nemesis. They always do this dive bombing thing into my eyes. Although right now I'm wearing my giant nerdy blue blocker glasses, so that probably should not be much of a concern. It would have to be really trying to get to my eyes. So, yeah. I hear Miss Chaos in the background. I don't know if y'all hear her too, but she's cute. And surprisingly good at Fortnite. She really likes Minecraft a lot more, but she will do Fortnite. Do duos with her dad. Now, if her brother plays, then they can almost make up a squad, but I can't play it. I don't know why. There's something wrong with the controls. I'm totally just going to blame the controls and not me being too far out of gaming to understand what all I'm supposed to be doing with 400 buttons on one controller. Back in my day, you had A, B, D-pad, start, and select. And that probably lets you know exactly what I was playing on. Alright, I think that's about all my lines, and I'm going to back out, or zoom out, and hide my pink layer. Oh, there he is. He's very cute. So I need to work a little bit more on this front part right here with his chest. And maybe darken in his eyes. And I think I can actually erase a good bit of this line that I drew about 50 times. Because it's a little dark now in comparison to what I want his tail to look like. So let me see. Let me zoom in here. Oh yes, and this bit right here, this is a little bit awkwardly shaped coming along his back. Now, I think I've got too much hip showing here. Hold on just a minute. I'm going to take a sip. I refilled my water and haven't had any of it yet. This is going to be more like that and up from here, I think. And I'll just erase it up to that point. I'm not going to stay with this one. Okay, right here. Neaten him up. So I'm also going to need to do another line where the tendon is in his leg. Let's get this back done. Oh yeah, something fun about Fortnite. Bananas. I'm sure everyone on Twitch at least knows what's going on with the bananas. Well, let me see. Neaten that up right there. And I think I don't need so much of this heavy line here. Just enough to show where his spine is. And trim this down. So he's just going to have just a light sketch. I've been doing a lot of very detailed paintings, so it's nice to relax and do something slightly more stylized, a little more abstract. But some of my other painting, what's been recent is, hang on, right here. So this is my painting from last time. I haven't worked on it again today, but I'm getting there. I'll just get around to doing that probably tomorrow. But I think I had a little bit of eye strain from, staring at it so long for the last week. Let's zoom back to this one. Alright, so I'm going to come in here and erase most of this heavy line that's going through his tail. And he should be in pretty good shape. I like, for once, there's something that I like that I did almost the first try, and that's the shape of his muzzle. Did good. Need to remind myself when I actually do something really good. Otherwise, I get stuck in that trap of thinking that everything I do is awful. Well, not everything. Not today. I did a Colt's muzzle really well. Like just then. We all saw it. I think I can actually leave some small traces of this line, just so you know where the bone is going through his tail. Yeah, as an extension of his spine. He is a subtly strange creature. Yeah, not as in your face as the arachne, and not as big as the moat monster. Autosave, I guess? Whatever that was just then. I probably have my autosave settings on a little too aggressive, but that's because I've learned the hard way about many things, including saving. Haven't we all had those lessons? And I know when I'm doing this tiny detail work, I tend to go a little silent. I mean, I'll try not to, but it's really hard to resist the temptation to just be quiet until I get this tiny little detail finished. So I think what I'm going to need to do is come back over it with a smaller line. I don't know. That might be enough line, given that it's meant to be a sketch in a field guide. So, in the story, Becca's a med student. I'm not sure if she's going to be the one doing these sketches. Probably not. These can be from my notes then. I do try and write characters who are different than myself. And Becca's a med student, and that's not something that I could do. It's a note from me. I admire the people who can go into the medical field, but things get to me a little too much for that. No, I am not happy with any of these lines. Come on. Nope, nope, nope. And I don't know. Am I fussing too much over this particular little bit of fuzz at the end of his tail? Am I being too picky? Nah. And let's see how we are. Let me go to the fit to screen. That'll help. Alright, I like his tail a lot. I do think I need to fix this outside corner. Well, it's not really a corner. This outside edge where the tail curves around. It does need a little bit more line. And I'm going to darken in his eyes a good bit. Now, does he get the fluff on his fetlocks here? Yes, it'll be cute. Not as much as he'll have when he's older. But there he goes. And I'll have to zoom way in on this tail again if I'm going to get this. And slightly smaller line so I don't make the same mistake as I did the first time. Just come around. Nope, nope, too much. And reset to fit the screen. Alright, now that's much more visible and you can see that there's a uniform width to his tail. Should I just bucket fill this eye? Slightly creepy that way. Let's undo that. If I can go to a more vivid blue. Still slightly creepy that way. I'll just have to zoom in and draw it in. Because I'm not going to want a flat color in here necessarily. Maybe what I should do is switch to paint. Yeah, this is an interesting tool right here. The whatever this is. What do they call it? Contour line paint. And it will just guess. Whoop, that's a little too much. Little too much guessing. It will guess what effect you want by the surrounding colors. Sometimes it makes a good guess. Sometimes it looks a little odd. But it's fun to play around with. And I do just love this program. Let's see, if I do this with some paint and then I come back in and blend it, which I do love the blending tools. Get that a little smaller and blend it up from the edge. Let's look at the running color one. Whoa, why is that so huge? What did I use it on last? That's maybe a little too streaky. Did I use this one on last? That's huge. Just continue to, work with it, push it around as if it is paint. That's kind of my usual mode of doing digital paintings. It kind of brings back some of the surprise of painting. Yeah, when you're experimenting and you're not sure how something's going to turn out. Let's go darker yet. Stay out of the ones that say that they're muddy. I have this set up so that it will convert to CMYK for print. And to be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm working with it the best I can. But the good news is there's settings that you can use, and you don't have to know exactly what everything necessarily means in order to find the settings and set them to the correct thing. That's a bit too much. Again. Don't know what they're talking about in there. And come out of here a little. Let's see, I think I can gently, lightly blend in a little more darkness towards the back, around the eyes, or well, the pupil of it. And then I'm going to come back and put in some highlight. So it's 10 o'clock now. Usually I do try to get done and finish it up because I've got to go to bed myself. But our schedule's kind of turned upside down today, and it's the weekend. I don't quite care as much about it today. Besides, when I get off of here, I'm going to have to be the responsible adult again and tell Miss Chaos that she needs to brush her teeth and go to bed and all that stuff. Yeah, a bit softer here, where it's going to catch the light. A little more. Let me zoom out and see how it looks. About right, I think. I think it could be a little darker in the front. And let's find not too much darker in the front and a lot smaller. So we'll come through here. And it's the concentrating and going quiet again. And there's no help for it, really. I don't know how to talk and work at the same time. And I'll just gently blend that in right there. Yeah, for some reason, this is putting me in mind of a dream I had, but it was one of those very confusing ones that, you wake up and you're like, what universe was I in? Like, how did my brain even think this was a reasonable situation to put in front of me all night? I don't remember what it was. I guess if I did remember what the dream was, I wouldn't be able to explain it. Because it was strange. But for some reason, something about this imagery, this particular shininess, my brain had something weird to say about it one night. And is halfway reminded of it. I don't know. I do have some odd dreams. I had one dream that was fairly recently. It was sort of a knockoff of Men in Black, which I've probably just seen a movie trailer about that. And there was this alien artifact. It was shiny and chrome and kind of looked like a car part of some sort. Like an alien carburetor. I don't know. And it was in 2 parts. And they were locked together. And the idea is to get them apart. Well, nobody can get them apart until the rookie, whoever the rookie is, goes, yeah, there's a ghost in my attic at my parents' house. It likes to open up the door. I'm like, oh, great. This is going to be one of those scenarios that I always get in my dreams where there's something creepy in the attic and I've got to go there. And the rookie continues. Yeah, we figured he just liked opening stuff. We taught it to open jars and things. So we're all okay. And we leave the alien artifact in this guy's parents' attic. And the ghost opens it. So at least that time I woke up from a dream thinking that, all right, that one was pretty funny. It wasn't like horribly confusing, and it didn't go to the super creepy place that it usually does. Let me tell you, I am sick of these dreams where I have to go to the attic and face demons. Oh yeah, hey polar bear. So, yeah, I was just reminded of the weird dream that I had. It was nicer than my usual weird dreams. So, can you hear Miss Chaos through the live stream? Because I have my mic turned down about halfway, and I'm hoping it's picking me up more. Alright. This pony has some serious eyeshadow. A little bit of mascara on there. He looks good. I like him. So I think I can... Let's see. Is he about done? Does he need any more? Probably not. Occasional squeals. Yeah. Yeah. She's a little squeaker. We're gonna have to get her own channel. And a little touch up right here. But at least this is an art stream where I have an entire piece. I'll call it done, and I can go into the text function and pick out a cute font. I like Candara. I just really love that one. Candara? Anyway. And maybe I should give him a title up at the top. I also really like this font. This one's pretty. Let's make this bigger. I'm gonna have to make it a lot bigger, I think. This up because I need to type. What have I done with the settings for this one? The edge thing. Yeah. Alright, so now I have to go back. Sometimes the settings, even if I go back in and undo what I've done before, they do stick just a little bit. See, I don't want the open face. Let's undo open face. And, you know, I think I'm alright with the black outline. Where in here do I have the outline, though? I would show... Well, she's gone squeaky again. I would show you which of these settings has the outline going around it. But I just can't remember right now. It does bring it out a lot. I like it. It looks like a good size. Let's close that. So, the healer's horse. And I'll have a little bit more about what he is. Oh, there's a small detail. There is a small detail that would be kind of a bigger hint. Also, oh no, Miss Chaos got sniped. Alright, let me come down here. Layer 2. Let's zoom in on him a bit. And it's really the end of this game. Rubbish. She's got all our Britishisms. Oh, and I did kind of forget that I was going to neaten this one up. I still stand by what I said earlier. His muzzle is perfect. Just the way it is. We're fine. So, trim that down. It's really nice. I get to modify how hard I want the outlines of the eraser to be. So, and it's going to be right in here. Oh, I have, whoa, right there. I've set it on a different shade. I use this one to get back to the right shade instead of trying to remember which blue that I used. So we'll just put this little hint right here. Put some velvet. It's going to be just a very soft velveted bump right here, as he's a little bit of a cross between a horse and a deer. And up here, not too much, just right here. Another little bit with the pen. I know, I said his muzzle was perfect. It was. It still is. So he's just a little button right here. So it's all right, and this right here, I think the lines on this bit were a bit thicker. And I think I can make fetlocks a little more narrow right through here. . 'Cause Not quite. I'll have to zoom in to do that properly. Unless I come down that way and then erase. And erase tiny little thing here. Alright, there he is, the healer's horse. Early in his development. In later stories, through the millennia and all the major eras of the other realm, he's going to be a little bit different in appearance and in function. Yeah, you know, it would be nice if I put a little texture in his hooves. Since I have time. Since I have time. So it doesn't really need too much. All I'm going to do is just suggest a little bit, leave it very light, very abstract, so that I can actually be complete in one stream for this whole series of animals and creatures that are not quite animals because they're sentient beings in this world. Yeah, he's pretty smart too. Alright, here he is. I can sketch a little bit of his shadow. A little bit of the ground under him. Just to give him a place to be in space. And what should I draw next time? So tomorrow I want to draw another one of these sketches of one of the creatures in the world. Got a moat monster that is somewhat like a catfish. You know, I've heard rumors that in our very own Lake Hartwell in South Carolina that there are catfish up by the dam that are big enough to potentially eat people. That's a nice thing to think about when you're out there on the lake swimming and boating and things. Sketch, sketch, sketch. Nope, don't like that line. I think I'll leave it like this. It's probably not perfectly correct to him. I don't know. Wait a minute. That's a better line. Ha! It's probably my first line that I've made a correction on, and my first try was a better line. So I'll take down this old one, since I'm still looking at it. And so I want to write down some information about him and, yeah, put a little bit where is a good spot for the write-up on him? Should I take this layer and move it again to make more room? Right here? It's just lovely, she says. Fit the screen. Come on. Alright, so this right here. Should I put it right up here on the left side of him, or should I scoot him over and put it on the right side? I think it'd be better coming down this side in a column. Now I did like where I had his ear kind of coming up through here. But, oh, and if I need to make sure to leave a little room for the bleed. Alright, scoot that over a little bit more. And up a little. You know, in case when it's printed, I don't really want this to be trimmed out. I want all this to be in the safe area. Though it was just going to be like a print at home thing. Did Miss Chaos seriously just say, "Oh no, people are shooting at us"? Really? Isn't that what Fortnite is? Alright, so let me see. I think that this knee needs to be up a little more, since I'm going to be picking at it forever now. It's still going to be done in one stream. Done. Without lots of fussing and painting. And blending. And stuff. Oh, there goes Squeaker again. In the background. She's fine. Alright, thank you, autosave. Alright, here he is. And connect this. There. So I wanted this to be a Kickstarter reward for reaching a certain number of backers. Now, it's not just getting the amount of money that I need to do the print run. It's getting enough people ordering the books so that it's really worthwhile to do the print run. If I fully funded but only sold a few books, then, well, why am I doing a 500 copy print run? So I'd like to incentivize people to share the campaign and bring in some friends if they think they'd be interested in the comic, and helping out a small independent creator like myself. To bring the first issue of a 10-issue miniseries. It's an epic fantasy adventure set mostly in another world, dealing with lost creatures, lost civilizations. A little cryptozoology. A little mythology. And with the nature of the soul. And a lot of other things that just interest me. Things that make good seeds of stories. Alright, and here's all his little hooves done. Alright. Well, I suppose I better sign it. There, signed. And all I have left to do is write down all about him and put it on this side. I've left some room right here under his prancy little nose. Alright, thank y'all for watching. And good night, and I will see y'all in the other realm.